All right, this is an introduction to a big 20-acre tract, large tract out at Chalk Bluff. This is a really special one because it directly borders the Rocky Creek Conservation Area along its east side. We usually start up pretty close in and then work out, but we're going at this one backwards. So this is actually the property toward the center of the screen here. Down here to the left, you see Mountain View, Missouri. That's on Highway 60. And up here on the upper right, you see Eminence, Missouri. The property's kind of midway between the two of those. The shaded areas you see are conservation areas, national forest, and Ozark Scenic Riverway. So the green is the Mark Twain National Forest. The lighter greenish, I guess, are different conservation areas. So the national forest, the conservation areas, open for public hunting and for recreation. They have different trails and all kinds of cool stuff. And then this purple area is the Ozark National Scenic Riverway, which gives you access to the Jacks Fork River, which is this river right here flowing near the property, and up by Eminence, I believe the current river as well. So just a ton of public land in this area. There is no shortage of stuff to do, especially if you enjoy the outdoors. So let's look at the route to the property. So if we were coming, say, from Springfield, Missouri from the west, we would take Highway 60 to the east to Mountain View. Takes a little over an hour. Continue going east. You'll pass the little town of Birch Tree right here at the bottom of the screen, and then you'll go like 3-4 miles, and you'll see Highway E going to the left, going north. So you'll take Highway E up to the north, go through all that national forest, through part of the conservation area. You're looking for County Road 412, which is right up here. It may or may not be marked, but if you get to Highway 106, then you went about a mile too far. All you have to do is backtrack, turn around, and take your first road going to the west. So 106 goes east to Eminence, goes west to a national park called Alley Spring, which is really, really cool if you want to check that out. But anyway, you'll take 412 going to the east, and now I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. The internet's been fairly slow today, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so that's County Road 412. That's a gravel road. Take that down easterly, basically southerly, but it only goes that direction. And eventually, after about 3 miles, you'll come into the conservation area. So from then on, it's still a gravel road, but it's not a county road anymore. It's maintained by the state, I guess. So it's a decent road, but you've got to go pretty slowly. And you've got to stay on that for about 3 miles. So there's a total of about 6 miles of gravel to get to this 20 acres. So it's if you're looking for something private and secluded, this is a nice one for that. So you'll take that 412 through the conservation area. You'll see different spur roads that go off. It's only showing a couple, but there are numerous ones. But basically, you're going to stay on what's going to appear to be the main road, and you'll keep heading west. Okay. Whoops, there we go. So as soon as you get out of the conservation area, you'll be in the Chalk Bluff area, and you'll probably start seeing the signs in the trees, say tract 10, tract 20, whatever. As soon as you get into that Chalk Bluff area, you're going to take your very first left on this little easement road that goes to the south. It goes down this little sloped area, then back up. And once you get to the top again, then you're basically looking at the property. There is a trail that continues south. That's a private trail on your property. And then there is a roadway or whatnot that goes to the west, and that's going to be your north border, basically. If you were to continue going west on the main gravel road, you would get to the actual Chalk Bluff, which is gorgeous, just a breathtaking view over the Jacks Fork River. But it's really like a primitive area, I guess you'd say. There are no guardrails. It's just all natural. So you've got to be careful, especially if you've got kids. You probably want to stay back. I stay back 30 feet. I don't get close, but even the view from 30 feet back is really cool. Jacks Fork River, National Scenic Riverways. But let's zero in on the property itself here. Okay, so you've taken that road. What this is it's actually 3 tracts that we combine to do one enormous tract. All the tracks out here I love for recreation. They're off-grid. This particular one I'm really fond of because it's got direct frontage on the conservation area along its entire east side. which is really, really cool. Not only do you have use of your 20 acres, you've got direct access into thousands of acres of land that's available for additional hunting and recreation and whatnot. So if you're going out there to hunt with a bunch of buddies and you want to set up in multiple spots, well, for one thing, with 20 acres, you're going to have multiple spots. But if you really want to get out and explore, I mean, you've got thousands of acres directly bordering your property, like it's your backyard. So that's pretty darn cool. We're going to zoom in a little more. So we're on the MapRight program. MapRight is fantastic. It does have some limitations, one of them being that it pulls from different base maps. This is a Google aerial, and this is not an extremely recent aerial. This is a couple years old. This aerial was taken right after the property was logged, so it looks a little sparse out there. It's had a couple years of growth since then. If you look at the drone video, that'll give you a better idea of what this looks like, but it's got some good timber up here on the north. As you get down to the south, there's actually a fringe of very good timber along this creek bed. The blue line indicates a creek bed. It's going to be a wet weather creek or a seasonal creek. It may have pools of water in it year round, but it's only going to flow after it's been raining or possibly at other times throughout the year as well. Let's go over to a topo map here. So topo maps are handy. Each line indicates a change of elevation of 20 feet. So 5 lines indicates an elevation change of a total of 100 feet, and that's all that the dark lines are indicating. Those are just 100-foot contours. So the property is highest on the north side. In fact, there's a large level area here going back from the road, several hundred feet, I believe. Let's take a look at that. Stays level for close to 300 feet on that northwest side. So tons of room to build and camp and have a level area. Then it slopes down. Looks to be kind of like a ridge, but it does slope down. And then over here toward the center, that slopes quickly. That could potentially be a bluff. I don't think so. I think it's just steep, but you can check into that if you're interested. There was at one time a trail that went right down to the creek bed. You could maybe still do that on a four-wheeler. I don't think you'd drive a vehicle down there. But definitely go check out and explore that creek bed. We haven't done that other than by drone. And generally, when you've got a gravel creek bed here in the Ozarks, there's some really cool stuff. I mean, you'll find rock formations. You could easily find springs on this property. Just looking at the topography, it could very definitely have springs. So go and check that out. You're going to have some awesome views from up here on the north. Actually, this area down here looks like it levels out. So there could potentially be a really cool campsite or building site down here by the creek bed at this southeast corner. So pretty cool if you want to check that out. But yeah, there's the slow internet kicking in. Can't get the aerial back. Oh well, we got a pretty good look at it. But yeah, I mean, there we go. Just a really, really solid property. I mean, it's so hard to get stuff that borders a conservation area, giving you all that public land. There are a few tracks up here at Chalk Bluff, smaller tracks that border the conservation area. They're not available. I mean, they sold right away. This one just happened to just go on the market recently here. So if you've been looking for something like this, it's pretty fantastic. Like I said, Chalk Bluff is off-grid. It's several miles from power. So I won't say it will never have power, because it certainly could happen years down the road, but not in the near future. On the plus side, where I guess some people think that being off-grid is plus side, and I'm down with that for sure. But we do have cell phone service out here in the truck. The Wi-Fi is good in the truck, so internet. So you can be kind of off-grid and private, but still be able to call your kids or check in with work, or potentially even work from your laptop out there. I've done that a few times, actually. So that's a nice one. Check us out at InstantAcres.com. If the property is available, that's where you'll see it. Oh, super quickly here, I was going to do the dimensions. Maybe I should just cut this short, but since we're here and we've got MapRight, the full version of MapRight has some different features as far as measurements and stuff. You don't need the full version at all to view these maps. I mean, you can view the maps right on the listing, but if you get the free MapRight app, they'll probably try to get you to subscribe. You don't have to. You just need to download the free app. We can email you this actual interactive map. You need to be able to open the email on your phone or your tablet, whichever has the app. And then when you click on the link, it will say, do you want to open the link within the app? To which you'll say yes. And then this map will pop up, and there'll be a little blue dot to indicate where you are, where your phone is. It uses either cellular or GPS, I'm not sure. But I mean, for any property, that's great. For this one, it's especially great because people, including myself, do get turned around out here. You can go the wrong way in the conservation area fairly easily because the roads generally aren't marked. But if you have that app and then we send you this link, you can be chugging right down here on the road. You'll see a little colored dot to indicate where you are. You'll know when you get to this point. You'll know you have to head south. You can track yourself, and then when you're on the property, you can be moving around the property and know right where you are. So it's super, super cool. This borders the creek bed for most of its south side. A section line happens to run through here, so that's what these flat parts are. But otherwise, it borders that creek bed. But yeah, map right. What was I doing? I was going to measure. I got sidetracked. Okay, so let's do this. So frontage on the easement road, close to 1,000 feet. It says 964, and it curves, so it's a little more than that. Whoops. What am I doing? There we go. Frontage on the conservation area. That's what I really wanted to check. About 900 feet. This is fairly accurate, but you could easily say 850 or 885 feet on the conservation area. That's a lot of conservation area frontage. That's a lot. I mean, that is awesome. And then actual creek frontage here, well, we'll just be kind of guessing, about 12 to 1,400 feet of frontage on that creek. I mean, nice property. There's a reason that we had this in 3 separate tracts, and we just decided to put them together because we just don't have any big properties right now, and people are starting to say, hey, we want some big ones, so that's why we put these together. Pretty good deal. InstantAcres.com, that's us. Ask us if you have any questions. You can call, or better yet, you can email at sales@instantacres.com. We'd love to hear from you either way, or stop in the office. That'd be great too. We've got all different types of coffee and even some cool magazines. InstantAcres.com.